Hey guys, Rexasaur here, and welcome to Patch Notes on the 15th of April 2025. It is indeed a day. We're under a flood warning after 2 weeks of sun, fairly cold but also warm temperatures. The rain has finally come, so stay safe out there. It's been a week. There was a lot going on. Last Tuesday we did Blood on Cocktail, which was a lot of fun. It was incredible, confusing fun, where, for context for those who don't know at all how the game plays, effectively it's a social deduction game where you're trying to find out who the evil team are. Out of, there were 8 players in this instance, so 2 people were evil, one of which was the demon, which is what you want to kill, and then you win the game. And then on the other side, the evil team want to eliminate all of the others. At the start of the game, the demon is told who their minions are, and in this case, the demon chose not to tell the minion that they were the demon, and so ended up being their ability being suppressed for 2 turns, which caused a lot of confusion and was very fun to watch as the person running the game. But so it was a very interesting session for sure. A lot of fun. Looking forward to next month. So that was the Tuesday. Nothing really much else happening for that. Wednesday, we had Vaesen, where we somehow managed to escape what probably would have been absolute devastation had it gone any other way. And we didn't really spend that much time advancing the story, but there was a lot of discussion, and I think we are in a good position to move forward. We're going to swap out characters to continue the story, and then we have a fun side story that will be happening in the future as part of the characters and what they're doing. We also discovered that what we are facing is not what we initially thought at all. So, but it's something that I really appreciate with the game, is that you have your own player knowledge, but that could be completely, not quite incorrect, but superseded, that's not the word I'm looking for. But effectively, I was under the impression that we were up against either a vampire at first, and then a succubus secondly. And it turns out it was something completely different entirely, which follows a similar theme, but is actually a Scottish cryptid. So that's really fun. We're going to see how we can deal with it, because effectively it's interesting because vampires and succubi, I'm aware of them enough from playing things like Dungeons and Dragons, where they show up a lot more in general media. But you throw me a cryptid that is very local, very specific, which is the whole point of the book that we are playing through. And you end up being like, I have no idea how even to start thinking about facing this. So because this cryptid is effectively a ghost, I'm like, well, normal things with ghosts happen. It does have an aspect of a contract of some sort. So it's like, well, will succubus devil stuff work? So it's interesting, and I'm looking forward to our session, which is Friday this week. We're having a bonus section, so that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to that. Thursday, I don't think we did anything. No, Thursday was just chill. And then Friday I think was also chill. I can't actually remember what we did. Yeah, just some stuff. Then Saturday went up to Richard with my friend Cameron in tow, as we did our they did a battle and I watched, commentated, and generally just given them ideas and different aspects. Both of them are, it's actually crazy in how short a time Richard has become a very confident player. And he's very able to make decisions, and he definitely is knowledgeable of his own army, I think this tournament that's coming up in May is going to be really good for him in terms of being able to identify threats from other armies, and the issue being that myself and Cameron have played against a variety of armies throughout different editions of Warhammer, and Richard has not really done that. He's somewhat understanding because of Total War and a few battle reports that he's seen, so he is aware. He also has 4 armies himself, so he's not played all 4 of them. So he's aware of strengths and weaknesses, but I don't think he is fully there yet. But he's been playing just over a year, whereas Cameron and I have got like almost a decade of experience of that. So, but it's considering that inexperience, he did very well in that in the combat, in the battle that they did. Both of their army lists were very capable. Richard got very unlucky with dice roll, but also I think there was I don't even want to say it was bad positioning. It ended up being very bad positioning, but I think Cameron capitalized on an advantage, and then that propelled him into what effectively was victory. Richard was on the back foot for most of it. He did pull back very nicely, but in the end it was a little too late. But it was effective. It was a very close game, it turned out. It definitely looked like Cameron had it in the bag at the beginning, but I think it swung back in Richard's favour in the latter turns, although not quite enough to win him the game. But it's good. It was really good showing, and I think it goes to show how competent both of those lists were against one another. I don't think they were bad lists. I think I would have struggled, maybe not struggled, but it would have been a case of if I had bad dice roll, it would have been a very big uphill battle. But if I had rolled average or above, I think it would have been fine. But I think that's just the list composition that I have. But theirs is definitely the kind of list that I would expect to go against at the tournament. And I think that the only reason I have an advantage would be because I'm playing Chaos, and that currently is quite a strong showing. But in the case of going up against a list that isn't tailored against Chaos, I think both Richard and Cameron's army compositions would have an equal chance of winning, if not a slight advantage, based on what they're bringing. So on the 22nd, I will be facing Richard. We thought about a few things that didn't work in his list, things that could have been improved. And so I made him a list this time, which is going to show up. It's using a Necrotect, which is something that we've not used yet, and we'll see if that has the desired effect of making his Tomb Guard really punchy. Because if it does, then it's kind of a thing that you've got to take. Maybe not got to, but it'd be really nice to have, especially since it doesn't remove anything really from his list. I think the issue is I had to fit in some Ushatbi, which did mean that he couldn't take that second wizard. But yeah, we'll see how the Ushatbi feel, because they are very, very good. They are a huge threat, really. But it's whether or not the Ushatbi are worth another wizard and a buffed up Architect and this and that. It's in the end that's list building. But we'll see. I'm going to be bringing my High Elves for the first time for that battle, just because I want to play something a bit different, and also it'll be nice to have, once again, that variety, see how Richard can fare against a new army completely. Because in the end, it's all about getting him that experience to what to expect from alternate armies and other people, because that's what the tournament's going to be like. So, yeah. Should be good, and then might be able to get another battle after that. We'll see what happens. If his list is, if the Necrotech works well, if we can think of anything different, hopefully there won't be any swings from the dice rolls in this instance, and it'll be just a nice chill battle, which is actually close and even. And yeah, then we'll see what happens with that. But that was Saturday. That was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed that. And then Michaela was nice enough to make some food, so. Yeah, it was a good time. And then on Sunday, my wife went and did a half marathon, did the Newport half. Went there with a friend to support her. She did a PB, which I'm very proud of her for doing. The weather looked pretty at the beginning, but the sun did come out in the latter half, which actually turned out to be a detriment for the runners, but great for us as spectators. Yeah, so that was a morning out, and then we got home mid-afternoon, had a nice chill time at home. Yeah, that was Sunday. Yesterday it was work as usual, but then we had our D&D. They made it through the encounters that this party had split up. The encounter which I thought was going to be more difficult turned out to be less difficult. I think there was an element of we had a great time where our druid used one of his artifacts to deal significant damage, but then rolled really bad on whether or not it was going to backfire. So something did happen, and I think that also the damage dealt significantly helped them go through and continue, and then they managed to, the others half of the party was really struggling, so they managed to get through it. Now they're through to the next section where they have stumbled upon a large cavern with a sleeping dragon in the middle, and we'll see how they deal with that encounter. I feel like the encounters were really good. The fact that all of them were like really like, oh god, I gotta heal, and all of that made me feel like I balanced those encounters correctly, because the creatures were doing significant damage, but I think the creatures died at a time that was appropriate based on how much damage they had dealt. I don't know if it's because the party was split that also helped. We'll see with the dragon what happens, because I have pitted the dragon as being stronger than the two encounters that they faced there, and it's likely that because it's a whole party facing off against this dragon, should be an even fight. It may be really difficult, but they'll have to think it through. But yeah, excited for that. This is going to be my second proper dragon encounter, so we'll see if, because the last one was several years ago, so we'll see if this one is a proper dragon encounter, so we'll see how that goes. And beyond that was the week that I just had. Tonight got some Baldur's Gate 3, tomorrow nothing, because Vaesen is on Friday. Thursday I'm off to have a walk. We're going to do the Three Castles walk, myself and a good friend of mine who I haven't seen in ages, several years at this point. So that's going to be really, really, really fun. The weather is supposed to have cleared up for Thursday and then be back on Friday, so hopefully we don't get rained over, but if we do, then that's the walk in it. And then this weekend is going to be fairly quiet. It's possible that I have D&D on Saturday, but apparently it's just going to be myself, the DM, and one other, so it's possible that'll be cancelled, or we're going to do a one-shot. I have not been told either way. And then Easter Sunday, so far no real plans, which is good. I need a chill time. I'm going to be painting a bunch of high elves, that's what I really want to do. And same with Monday, nothing really happening there. But Tuesday, something is happening. Oh yeah, Tuesday is the 22nd, so Warhammer. So yeah, really excited. So really, yeah, getting painting done on the Sunday and Monday is definitely what I want to do. I finally decided on my paint scheme. I don't know if I said that last week, but no, I wouldn't have, because I was talking to Andrew on Wednesday for Vaesen, where he was suggesting purple, and I was like, purple is a little bit too dark elfy. So, but basically that meant that I went through all the colours at that point, and I was like, green is the colour that I want to go for. So I have decided I'm going to be doing the province of Avalon, which is the realm of the Everqueen. So it's greens, light greens, reds, is what it is. So, but I'm thinking I might do some purples for certain units, because I do agree with Andrew that purple is a really nice colour, especially that regal kind of tone. So I might do it on certain units, such as like the Phoenix Guard, and other more like my mages and things like that. Maybe my dragon. But I'm going to be going light greens, nature colors for my troops, and yeah. So that should be really, really fun. I do want to explore purples more. I do have a bunch of other things that need painting. So maybe I'll use purples more with like the Stormcast that I still haven't painted. Yeah, that's basically what's been going on. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that. Video game wise, still playing GTA. It's really good fun. I sort of took a little bit of I don't want to say hiatus. I literally took a few days from playing GTA to do a few Warhammer 3 campaigns. I finally did what did I do? I did the Vampire Coast is my most recent one. I was really struggling with that one. I decided to play as the Pirates of Sartosa because they're one that I haven't played yet. They have one of the most difficult start positions, I think, of any faction. Specifically because they are vampire, and they are so far away from other vampires that don't want to kill them. Because you're next to dwarves, specifically Belegar's dwarves, which are really strong. They're really, really difficult to take out. And yes, you have gunpowder, which is capable of, with the armor piercing values, but they were tough. And then the Ogre Kingdoms, because Scrag is up there, and he came down and just took me completely by surprise. And then once I've done with Crag, I still have Belegar, and I had the main dwarf faction for Thorgrim. Is that his name? I can't remember. And yeah, I got sandwiched by dwarves, which was a real difficult situation to deal with. But I did manage to get through. I got through the campaign eventually. At that point, Vlad had finally been like, "Yeah, let's be allies," and I was like, "Thank fuck." And then yeah, it turned in that campaign, Chaos was really struggling, and I think partly because Malekith had completely wiped all of the north. And so, what's his face? The Black Orcs, Grimgor, Ironhide had wiped out the Nurgle boys. I can't remember any of these names. And so I was like, wow, well, Chaos is really struggling this time. And I've played so many campaigns now, and Chaos usually manages, especially lately, to really face it off, especially with the addition of the Exiles of Khorne in Lustria, who always seem to win. It was a real wow, what is happening? But it meant that the Empire did really well, and they were the primary focus at the end. I was just like, Jesus fucking Christ. Having to deal with a united Empire was such a struggle as well, because they've got gunpowder too, and then you're like, ah, damn. So yeah, but that was a fun campaign, and I did complete. I think it was. I can't remember what it was before that. It was Warriors of Chaos, I think. I think I did Norska. I must have completed that before, so I think that was it. I just did that one Pirates campaign, and now I'm back at GTA. So it's good. It's nice having a mix. Yeah, good games. So gonna just continue with GTA going forward, I guess, if I'm not painting. But yeah, so I hope that you guys have a good Easter. You're probably getting a patch notes on the Monday rather than the Tuesday, based on the fact that I'm busy, and I don't have anything to do on the Monday other than paint. So yeah, I hope that you guys have a good week coming, and have a good Easter. Enjoy it with your family if that's what you're going to be doing, or if you don't celebrate Easter, then just have a good weekend. Eat a lot of chocolate, I guess. That's what it's all about, innit? That's the whole point of the holiday. Yeah. Alright. Have a good one. Goodbye.